The views and opinions expressed on Wrestling Winedown are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any other agency, organization, employer, or company. What's up, guys? It's Lo, and you are tuned in to Wrestling Winedown, a female-founded and hosted podcast dedicated to professional wrestling and our favorite adult beverage. It has been 2 years since we released our first episode here at Wrestling Winedown, and boy, it has been such an amazing adventure here in the podcasting world. I wanted to send a special thank you out to those who have supported us along the way, whether it's following us on our social platforms, listening to an episode of Wrestling Winedown, listening weekly to our show, or recommending us to your friends and family. Your support for our podcast does not go unnoticed, and we would not be at 2 years if it was not for you. On this episode, I am joined by a lady that I watched in the WWE growing up. She ain't the lady to mess with. I am joined by Lisa Marie Varon, also known as Victoria. We dive into so many topics, including her 2021 Royal Rumble return, as well as being number 14 on the WWE Greatest Women list that was recently published, her thoughts on main event Banks versus Belair, as well as if she'd be a trainer to the new generation of women coming into the wrestling world. We're also talking about Lisa's current endeavors, which include Gawcast, a project that she works on with WWE superstar Mickie James and SoCal Val. So grab your glass of wine. We're going in for the 3 count. It is an absolute honor to be joined by, she is not the lady to mess with. I have Lisa Marie Varon, aka Victoria, on the show. It is such an honor. I grew up watching you.
I hear that all the time when people are like, oh my gosh, I was so scared of you when I watched the TV. And it's so hard, like when you meet people in person and they think that you're actually really that psychotic character. And you're like, no, I'm actually really a nice person. Please. I would just say, go into character and say, my opponent's not around. So, I'm actually really nice. But when my opponent's around, I get a little crazy. So you have to go in and out of characters for kids.
Right.
But since WWE has gone entertainment, people know the backstories and the stuff. It's a little bit more exposed now, which I kind of miss the old school. I'll be honest with you. I like the mystery of like not knowing if that person's like that.
I've heard that a lot lately from fans that have watched for a long time. They mention that they miss the kayfabe aspect of it.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I mean, we were not, like in our day, we were not allowed to travel together. Although
really?
We did travel. When we pull up to the building, one of us would duck in the back and hide so they don't see us showing up. Because, how are you going to believe that when you go watch a show and they're waiting at the parking lot and see you walk in together? It's like, you're like, oh God, they really are friends. Yeah.
Right.
Ella J talks very highly from A.
Yes, let's talk about Ella. You have worked with Ella. She is a friend of the show, and she is amazing. She does it all.
She does. And I don't know how she lines up so many interviews in a day. I was telling her, like, when you do one podcast, I guess maybe as myself, you're on and you want to be peppy. You want people to see the real you. But when you line up so many, you're just like, oh, I don't want to disappoint who's watching this. And
right.
Get a piece of like, oh gosh, she was really looked tired, or she just was not really into it. You know what I mean? Kudos to you. Like, Ella runs my Big Cartel store, which is LisaMarieVaron.BigCartel.com. She runs that for me, and then she also transfers our God TV show to podcast form. And we became best friends. We talk every day. We have that app called Voxer, which is that walkie-talkie app.
Oh, yeah.
And then she was like, hey, I have a friend that has a podcast. She's a big fan and she wants to interview you. And I'm like, okay, if it's a friend of yours, okay, I'll do it. Yeah. And she goes, and also it's called, Wrestling Winedown. And I was like, okay. She goes, you're drinking wine. And I'm like, oh, I'm game. You don't have to ask me. Yeah, but yeah.
Before we dive into your legendary career, I have to ask, what is your all-time favorite wine?
I was a Cabernet person. I love red wine. White wine gives me a headache. And maybe, is it higher in sugar, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big wine. Of course, I'm not going to turn it down, though. If I have a glass, if that's my last bottle, I'm going to drink it.
Right.
But it's too buttery and too tart for me. But I do like dry, extremely dry wine. I'm on this Chianti kick. But my ultimate favorite brand is Fresh Fine Wine. They're one of our sponsors on our show. But I'm not just saying it because they provide us wine. I actually really like it. You know, low calories, keto friendly, and
Oh,
yeah, it's low carb. But that's not the reason why I drink it. You know, I didn't find that out until we interviewed the person from Fresh Wine, and I was like,
uh-huh.
I did not know it was healthy. I just
Give me
like,
more.
yeah, exactly. But I got this new one. I got this one from Bevmo. I think it was yeah, Bevmo, and it's okay. I'm gonna be like you. I need my glasses. Okay, it is Chianti Classico Gabbiano. I don't know. I don't really. This is the one I'm
I do
drinking.
like that bottle. It's pretty.
It is pretty, right? And you know what? It's so weird. Like I don't like to get the big bulky bottles because you saw
Uh-huh.
my wine case. I saved my last bottle of wine for you. So I was like, oh my
That
gosh,
means
check out
so
my
much.
wine. Oh no, but I was like dying. I was telling you earlier. It's like I wanted to open it up an hour ago, but I go, oh no, with my last bottle, like my it has to fit into those little.
Those little slots, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that a pain in the butt? Too fancy of a bottle, then you have to hide it if it's too big. And some of the big bottles are beautiful.
I know. I've seen so many at like Total Wine and stuff like that. I love a good appearance on a bottle. That is what will sell me.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? Sometimes you're paying for that bottle because
Definitely.
you know those Prime 19 is it was it the bottles and you can and there's an app called Living Wine and you put the
Mm.
app like right in front of it and it
Uh-huh.
speaks to you about and it gives you an education about criminals from the like the 1800s and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
God. I didn't even know that.
Doggy Dog has one.
I saw that one.
Yeah, yeah. I'm always waiting for it to go on sale. I just want to keep it just for the story. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But you are paying for the bottle. I remember,
Definitely.
yeah. If I would ever do a wine, I would love that option to do that 3D thing because it
Hmm.
pops out into the camera. But I would want a good wine inside. You know what I mean? So probably instead of being $12, probably be $16 a bottle or something, just to upgrade the wine. What are you drinking right now?
I am drinking Stella Rosa Peach. I love some Stella Rosa.
Let me see. Oh, you don't have the bottle with you. So you like rosé.
Yeah, rosé is my
Oh,
favorite.
you and SoCal Val would just spit it off. She likes a good rosé. Yeah. And I've only have like, okay, I have two fancy glasses for champagne flutes. Got this one. I bought
Oh, that's
at a
cute.
Ross. You can't
We love a
beat,
good deal.
right? TJ Maxx, Home Goods, all that
Hmm.
stuff. Oh my God, I know. But let's cheers to us. Oh my God. Thank you for having me on your show.
I am honored to have you here.
Thank you. I like your shirt too.
Thank you. I got it from Target.
Are you serious?
Yes, they have wrestling shirts at Target.
I had no idea.
I actually found this one on TikTok and someone had linked it to Target and I was like, they're selling wrestling shirts now?
I had no idea. I had no idea.
Very limited, but they have them.
Okay, yeah, you probably have to go. You have to look for it, or are
Yeah,
they right?
you have to look for it.
Are they in that section? Like, I think I know Walmart has that section of old school shirts, like cola shirts, and remember Hawaiian Punch and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That old school. I love that section.
me
I really do.
too.
I have a story for you. I
Yes.
don't know if I have told this ever. Okay, so I was at Walmart and I was going on the road to TNA. I found out I was booked really last minute. So we were rushing, and then my ex-husband was like, "You're not gonna wear that wife beater." And I'm like, "No, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I really don't wear my tank top underneath it. You know, I go, I'm not gonna show it." He goes, "It's all stained. What if they ask you to take your jacket off and it's all spray tan stained? Spray tan, right?" So we stopped at it was Walmart to get some t-shirts so I can change the shirt, right? And
Hmm.
so I saw that booth with all the old school shirts. And I was walking, and I was looking at the shirts, and bam! I hit my face against one of those metal poles that hold the ceiling up.
Oh
Okay,
no.
split my eye, my top of my eyebrow open, and it's dripping out. And it the whole it went boom. That's the sound. And I remember my ex-husband running, going, "Oh my God!" And he's taking his shirt off. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "You're bleeding." And then I looked in the mirror. He goes, "Don't look in the mirror." I looked in the mirror and I go, "Oh." So they took me. There's actually a doctor's office not by the pharmacy. That's actually an exam area. I
Hmm.
never knew that they had that in there.
I didn't either.
I didn't either. And so they went in there, taped me up, and I called TNA. I go, "I just got busted open. We're gonna have to do this in the storyline because I had to get stitches." So we went across the
Oh
street.
my God.
Flight, and I had to go take another flight. Had to get stitches, and you know, snitches get stitches. But and of course, they didn't work it in a storyline. And I was like telling the people, I go, "You got to stay away from my face." I go, "I just got stitches." I go, "If you tap my face, it's gonna bleed." And
Right.
yeah, oh my God, it was so freaking embarrassing. And one of the customers at Walmart, came with a frozen bag of peas. He goes, oh my, I just saw what happened. And I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I was more embarrassed than actually hurt. Like, I think that shock of it, that adrenaline rush too.
Like, how did this happen?
Oh my God, because I saw a freaking good bargain. Oh my Lord, I was so embarrassed. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. It was so embarrassing. Oh my God.
It happens.
I still have a scar on my eyebrow. Yeah. And you'll see like someone's like, oh, something's wrong with your makeup. I go, oh, no. It's a crease because my shadow gets indented in there, Yeah. Oh my God. Girl.
Stuff happens. At least you're okay.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah, I can't wait till Ella sees this. She's going to go, oh, you never even told me that story. But we talked so much, I don't know what stories I have told her,
Right.
Yeah. But.
Let's talk about your Royal Rumble appearance. You came back this year at the Royal Rumble, your first time in the WWE in almost 12 years. And when I saw you on TV, I was like, oh, I was so surprised. How did it feel to be back in that ring competing against the women of today in the WWE?
This generation and my generation work very, very differently. We're a little bit slower, meaning more body language, more facial expressions, and more like less is more, not such spot. So I was nervous. I wasn't be able to keep up with these girls. I'll be honest, I was completely out of breath after I told one of the girls, you say can means chew me out of the ring. I need to get my breath.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I said, can me. They're like, what? And I'm like, I need to get my breath. And I was like, I didn't realize I was going to be there so long because you go in and you're like, boom, 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 you do all your moves. And you're like, oh my gosh, all those girls that were supposed to be eliminated are still in there. Oh my God, how am I going to do this? How can I keep up? And I remember the ref going, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, I'm blown up, dude. I'm blown up. And he started laughing. I go, okay, I'm ready to go in because there's another spot I have to do. You know what I mean? So, but it was such an honor to be back. These girls, the caliber and their freaking talent now is incredible. Just the stuff that they do and just the athleticism and just their cardiovascular and how in great shape they are and how they're all very unique looking. So amazing. It was such an honor to share the ring with such amazing talent. And I'm sounding so like politically correct. Honestly, I was a bit intimidated. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do what, are the fans are going to go, oh, is that it? Oh God, I'm so disappointed. I remember she should be better. And you're like, well, no, this is how I worked. I work very slow. You know what I mean? And I always take a pause and like get that moment and get the fans like invested, that kind of stuff. And it was weird to come out kind of as a baby face. And I'm so used to working like a heel where everyone's going to boo me. But Ella knew I was like in it because I had to have her tweet for me and do all my social media.
I heard the story on her podcast.
I accidentally freaking tweeted in Orlando. I mean, where was I at?
It was at St. Petersburg?
Yes, yeah. I'm sorry, yeah. And she goes, it said your location. I go, oh my God. She goes, I guess my notifications come up right away on her. So she goes, I deleted that tweet. And I go, oh my God, I was trying to pretend I was back at home, because I usually do one post a day at least, so, oh my gosh, I almost blew my cover.
I'm glad that no one saw that.
Oh my God.
Thankfully, she saw it before anyone else did.
Honestly. And I was trying to keep the secret. I didn't tell my family because I have 3 older brothers and they're proud of their little sister. And they would have told somebody like, oh, my sister, you got to tune in WWE. She's going to be on the Sunday.
Right.
I didn't even tell them. And then I told just a few people the day I landed in Pittsburgh. I don't know if you have the app, I'm going to be on. I go, but this is hush hush. You can't even tell your family. It was so incredible. And the chills and just, I was throwing up the day before and the day after. When I landed too, I was vomiting because I evidently, I guess that's a sign of panic attacks or
it is.
And I didn't know, and I wasn't sick. I knew it wasn't sick. It was nerves. My nerves got the best of me. And I was like, am I ready? I go, they gave me 2 weeks notice to be a part of this. I'm like out of shape. I'm not in ring shape. I don't have my fake nails. I don't have my hair extensions. I haven't had Botox and all that stuff. And you're like, oh God, I don't want people to see Victoria going, oh my gosh, she got old or she works slow. Like you don't want to disappoint the fans.
Right.
A lot of pressure, even though you're not wrestling anymore, there's still a lot of pressure of giving 110%. You know what I mean? And and I was just like, when people aren't nervous, I always worry about those people that are not nervous for a match. like regardless if it's not televised or anything like that. You should have a little bit of butterflies or some.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm one that gets a nervous belly.
If you saw the response online when you came out, people were so excited to see you. You know, we hadn't seen you so long in the WWE, and I still remember your last match like it was yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes.
There was a guy, Victoria WWE fans. That's his Instagram and his. He got compilations of all the fan reactions. I don't know how the heck he got that, but on my Instagram, he did 4 parts. I didn't know there was a lot. He had 4 parts. I thought it was just one little clipping of it.
Yeah.
I can only watch it once because I get very, very emotional watching that because I was like, people are going to remember me because, you know, there's a lot of new kids that are new fans. And I'm like, you know, I'm a little bit more older school generation. I'm like, are they going to remember me? And then to see those reactions, it just was incredible. Incredible. I can't put it into words. It's hard to describe like the emotions and just, you know, the goosebumps and your it means a lot. I mean, because these fans pay my bills and they are part of my career. And it's not just like, okay, I'm on TV, I made it. Okay, I'm done. It's, you have to relate with fans and still like be able to be, you know what I mean? Just like have them invest.
Have a connection with them.
That's it. Sorry. Yes, that's an easy word and I could not even freaking think about that, Lo. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Oh, it was incredible.
I know you've seen the pictures from last year when we thought you were returning at the Rumble. There was a photo leaked of the inside of the arena and it had your Titantron. Were there plans for you to even appear at that Rumble?
I think there was plan, but I was on the Chris Jericho cruise. Okay, Jericho cruise, and I needed to get blood work done. And I'm on a boat. Where am I going to get, you know? And
right.
I couldn't do it in time. And I thought since I couldn't do it, and I said, I'm on a Jericho cruise, and they, you know, oh, she chose the Jericho cruise, but I already got prepaid for that. Like they paid me in advance because I was like, hey, I need to check in my bags, you know, just because we're pro wrestlers and it's not like we're rolling in the dough. You know what I mean? I got bills to pay. And I said, they already prepaid me on this. I'm not one to back out on your appearance. I can't.
Right.
You know, you're advertised. It's just, it makes me look bad. It's not the promoter. I'm going to look bad. Oh, she just no-showed. Oh, she's too good for this. You know, you just don't want that label.
Right.
So I thought maybe they weren't going to ask me this year. I really didn't. I was like, because I kind of, you know, couldn't do it last year. I don't know, you know, but 2 weeks before I got the call and I got the call and I didn't answer. I recognized it was a 203 area code, but it was in Connecticut. And I was like, no way, no way. And I was driving and I'm like, I can't multitask. It's dangerous. And I'm like, and you can't hear, and then you'll sound like an idiot because you're like, hold on, I'm turning, I'm sorry. I just missed my exit. So I called Nikki and SoCal Val. And they're like, you better do it. You better do it. You know what I mean? But I called back and I said, I talked to Mark Carano and he's like, we're finally going to get you back. And I go, okay, when am I flying out? Like, what do you need? And it was a boom. It happened so fast, girl.
Right.
Girl, it was so fast. And I was like, I don't have ring gear because of course I have a store. And all my old ring gear is a 2-piece. I'm not wearing a 2-piece. No. I'm doing age appropriate. And so out to Jolene. She used to make gear for TNA. She actually was at WWE making gear also.
Okay.
And, on that weekend. And she made my ring gear. And
I love that ring gear. Yeah.
Thank you. She did awesome. I told her the style I wanted. I said, can you make the neck a little higher? She goes, yes. She goes, and she showed me the back of that old ring gear. She goes, do you want this? And I go, girl, no. No, I want it full back. No, I go, you need to add 3 or 4 inches. She goes, you know what? I'm not going to do the back part until you fly in and then I can measure you. And I was supposed to go straight to her house as soon as I landed. I was throwing up at the airport because of my nerves. Go, can I come over early in the morning? So she was boom, 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 boom. But if you guys want awesome ring gear, buy Jolene on all the social medias. And she's pretty fast. She's been doing this for years.
Right.
You know? And so she's amazing. I'm like, I thank her every day. I'm doing WrestleCon and I asked her, hey, do you want my 2 extra passes? I get 2 extra passes. We're not given a volunteer because of the COVID. And so she's going to be handling the business part of it. And
good. Yeah.
fun to take the photos. because who do you get to take the photos?
Right.
Because yeah, so she'll be there. And I told her, get business cards. I'm gonna tip you out, Missy. I'm still on that high though. Do you know, like
Yeah.
like that I'm still on that roller coaster, like where I'm like, haven't stopped thinking about it. You know what I mean?
It was
So
such an iconic moment. I mean, you haven't been back in WWE in so long. I would still be on cloud nine too.
yeah, it was incredible. Thank you, WWE. It was really nice. It was really, really nice. Really nice. And it was nice that Tori Wilson was there, Jillian Hall, Alicia
Mhm.
Fox, Nikki got to share this moment with me, Natty Neidhart from
Uh-huh.
still from my day too. And there's a lot of people I wish was there, like Lita and Trish and like Ivory, Jazz, like there's all the other girls that you wanted to share the moment, but there's only so
Right.
many spots. I mean, their
Mhm.
rosters jam packed. I didn't realize how, back in our day, we didn't have that many girls.
Right.
They have a lot of girls.
If you count Raw, SmackDown, and NXT UK.
Yeah. How do you do that? Oh my gosh. So like to have like a few spots open for us old timers, like it's nice. It was a good feeling.
Let's talk about your music. Can you take me through the process of receiving that "Don't Mess with" theme? I ain't the lady to mess with. Whenever I hear that, I know it's you. Were
Yeah.
you given a couple themes to choose from, or was this theme chosen for you?
Remember I had tattoo, yes, I've lost my
Yeah.
mind. Okay. We only owned that for a year because of copyrights and stuff like that. You have to pay the artist for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the behind the scenes. I don't know what the business transaction was, but we had to change songs, and they're like, "What kind of music do you listen to?" And I'm like, "Believe it or not, hip hop. I did hip hop in school, and I did the worm. I did break dancing, and
Mm-hmm.
not expert at it. You know what I mean? But that's my
Right.
inspiration. And so they found it wasn't Nick. We didn't know it wasn't Nicki Minaj as she is now.
Uh-huh.
They gave us a girl, and she made that song, "I Ain't the Lady to Mess With," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love it. Oh, this is what I would tune into,
Mm-hmm.
on the radio." And I wish the transaction from that song to this new one. I wish they would have done a storyline of me going through therapy and going, she's not crazy anymore. Why is she just dancing now?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe my therapist, my doctor put me into dance classes, and I transitioned to be it helped my emotions. You know what I mean? But it just went from this character to that character
Right.
like that, and there was no explanation. But I still loved it. I love it. I still love it to this day. I remember when I was a heel, it was a slower version, and
Uh-huh.
baby face, it's a
They
faster
sped it
version.
up.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then I noticed when I came down to the Rumble, you'll notice like when I started, I didn't know what they were like. What music did you request? And I go, I'm not. I'm not on the roster. I'm not going to go in and say, I demand this song. I demand this. I'm not going to do that,
Right.
And so when I heard the music, I was like, oh no, it's a fast pace. So I had to walk a little faster to go on the beat. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
was like, yeah. So I was like, oh no, it's the fast version. I have to, and then also too, you have a certain time limit to get to the ring and all that
Uh-huh.
stuff. So it's like, I got to get in there. I got to get in there. I don't know how long I'm going to be in there. It was crazy. It was crazy, but I really didn't know until they played it when I was walking through the gorilla.
Let's take
Yeah.
it back to the beginning of your career. So, I recently learned that when you were offered your WWE contract in the early 2000s, you had 30 days to learn how to wrestle. What emotions did you have when reporting to Ultimate Pro Wrestling?
Yeah, UPW. They wanted to meet me in 30 days.
Oh, they
Okay.
wanted to meet you. Okay.
Yes. And I said, what do you see me doing? Wrestling. And in my mind, I have to learn how to wrestle in 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it's like a dance routine or cheerleading, because I was a cheerleader, or a gymnastics routine. And it's just like you memorize the match, but it's not like that. You call the match, things change on a fly.
Right.
And like if fans are not into it, you got to turn it up and change it. And so that's a deception too. Like people like misconception. People think that we memorize the whole entire match. We don't. The experts are ones that can call a match, go in and not talk to each other, and
Mm-hmm.
go with the let's just call it out there. That's what we say. And little did I know, you can't learn how to wrestle in 30 days. And so I was at UPW, working every day,
Mm-hmm.
and I got my ass kicked. Like they beat the hell out of me. There was not very many girls there. The girls didn't wrestle, actually. I was in there with guys,
Mm-hmm.
and Samoa Joe was there, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Cena, John Heidenreich, Tom Howard, and Jerry Lynn. There was a lot of big names there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of people that are known. I didn't know what it entailed, and so
Yeah.
I finally WWF at the time, and the Godfather spot opened. They were looking for two girls to fit the spots, and that was my foot in the door. Of course, I that wasn't my ideal position, being called a hoe and stuff like that, and
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how did you feel coming in, being that that was your first interaction with the WWF? How did you feel about that?
it was an easy gig. I'll be honest with you. It's so fun to get the crowd reacting like that and getting them
Mm-hmm.
jumping up and dancing with you and all that kind of stuff. But at the beginning, I was like, oh, you have to take the opportunity. And then
Right.
that was my first get in the door. And then like, hey guys, I want to wrestle. And, that kind of stuff. And of course, telling your parents, they didn't know what hoe meant. And I'm like, oh, that means a party girl that gets the crowd riled up. And I'm just the sidekick of the guy. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know what man, they don't know what ballet is or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
they didn't know. They didn't know. And, I was pre-med. I was at UCLA and a private college, Loma Linda University. And for me to go from college to go, okay, you're a sidekick. But I talked to the office, Kevin Kelly, Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler, Brooklyn Brawler, and just said, hey, I want to wrestle. I think I can do what the guys do. Jerry Lawler's telling me I should move to Memphis. And they're like, are you willing to move to Memphis? And I'm like, yeah. They had a meeting. They came back to me the next week, the weekend for Raw. And, hey, we need you to move out to Memphis. How fast can you get there? And I'm like, when do you need me there? In a week. I got there in a week.
Wow.
Packed up our stuff out of our apartment, broke our lease in LA and West Hollywood. It was we were living at, and packed our bags, started from the ground up, not making much money, and then when Memphis Championship Wrestling closed down, they moved me to Louisville, Kentucky.
OVW.
Yeah, OVW. When people say I want to be a wrestler, they don't realize what you have to sacrifice. You know what I mean? They think it's an easy transition. No, you move. Where's the best school I can attend?
Right.
I want to be there. That's where WWE is looking, at the top freaking schools. Some people lived out of their cars because they couldn't afford rent and stuff like that. But it's a huge sacrifice. You give up your whole entire what you're doing. If you want to make it, you got to do it. You know what I mean? And you have to give 110%. It's not a 9-to-5er.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 24/7 job. You're in the gym. At the time, we used to tan. They didn't have spray tanning at the time, and they did, but it was like orange,
Yeah.
stuff, and the hair, getting the facials because women, you got to look easy on the eyes, and
Right.
hair and the nails. You still have to be that pretty part and still be an athlete, but there's just a lot. And then the gear, it's just a lot goes into. It's not just what you see that 5-minute match.
Mm-hmm.
A lot behind
The
the
preparation.
scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's not, and you can't learn how to wrestle in 30 days like I learned. I was in wrestling school for 3 years, and I'm thankful I was in for so long, because I don't think I would, if I was in for a year, I would have failed.
Mm-hmm.
I know I would have failed. I needed more training. And when I got to OVW and working with the best, I was like, whoa, holy moly, it gets better. I mean, there's better athletes out here, there's better wrestlers. And to learn when you're in school with the best, you're only going to get better.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
Who guided you along the way when you first started wrestling?
Who took me under their wing was Ivory. Yeah. And she was one, China was the one that recommended you have a good look for wrestling. I met her at the gym. I was like, oh, I have a couple friends, Trish Stratus and Tori Wilson. We come from the fitness industry. We used to compete and do fitness magazines and stuff like that. Not model. I wasn't a model. I was a competitor. I didn't get a lot of modeling gigs, but she goes, wow, are you a wrestler? You have a good look for it. And that's when I send my package in. And then I got the call about, we want to meet you in 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
That was that. But Ivory, when we came up on the road, the girl, her real name was Frosty. Her character name was Mandy. How awesome is Frosty? Are you serious? That's her real given name.
That would have been a good ring name.
I know. And when we got up there, we did not know what the hell we're doing. We're like, where do we go? Okay, we drive to the next town. Like what? Like we're SmackDown this. Like we're learning.
Right.
You're just thrown in the fire. And Ivory was like, hey guys, do you want me to ride with you? We could teach you the ropes. We get up, we'll go to breakfast or go work out and then go to have breakfast. What we need to do, like if we go to the tanning salon, back in the day, go check in at the building, where do we go? Which room do we go in? And she also, I wrestled her in MCW, Memphis. She came down, I was wrestling against her and I was like, I didn't feel ready. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready for this, dude. I'm like, she's freaking already in the big leagues. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm so green. My nerves, like that. Oh my God. I was just like, I was a nervous wreck. You can totally tell on my face. And she guided me. She was a great leader in the ring. Jazz also taught me in school how to be a
Mm-hmm.
heel, how to lead a match, and just that's where I learned, like from Jazz, like how to make my opponent feel more speed, like at ease, because that nerves, like all the rookies that came in, even though I still felt like a rookie, I can talk to them in the ring, going, okay, do you remember what's okay? I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna give you a clothesline. Okay, I'm gonna come back for you. Okay, all right. And then and then they feel okay. And I would never get mad if you mess up on a move. We're humans. We make mistakes
Right.
and stuff like that. You can't get mad after something gets botched. Botched is being human. We make mistakes and we have one shot to get that match. We don't get retake. We're like, oh, cut, she
Right.
messed up.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do a different camera angle. And Jazz was the one like, okay, baby. And so I think my longevity in the business was I was very good at working with the new kids that came
Mm-hmm.
in. It's okay. We mess up. You know what? They don't know what we're doing. They don't know our next spot. We're telling the story. Just whatever. And it's a learning process. You're gonna make mistakes. Always, always. There's never a perfect match.
Like I mentioned, you have done so much in your career. You, along with Lita, competed in the first women's cage match in 2004. At the time, did you realize how revolutionary this was?
No, not at all. We were always shocked. We're like, what? Are you kidding me? Oh my God, are you kidding me? We didn't know we were making history or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. We're just like going, how do we execute this and make it? We wanted to be just as good as the guys, or even better. You know what I mean? So the
Absolutely.
challenge
Yeah.
was there, and so it was just like every obstacle, like Trish and I having a hardcore match, then a
Mm-hmm.
street fight, then later on a cage match, and then I had two more cage matches, one with Awesome Kong and one with Mickey James,
Mm-hmm.
and like it was very much of an honor to give those kind of matches because you don't complain about it and you're like, oh my God, they have confidence in me that I can pull this off. I can
Right.
actually execute as well, right? But at the same time, those matches are very difficult. There's a lot of injuries and things can go wrong because all this stuff that you're using and like the ladder might not open all the way or something, or
Right.
the cage, it's not, there's still rivets on the cage. It's not
Mm-hmm.
sandpapered smooth. So it's very much real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The trash cans are real and the table's real. It might not have that red metal railing, but it's not pre-cut like people think,
Right.
oh, the pre-cut. You hear all these fascinating stories, like how people are like going, oh yeah, but it's choreographed. They're like, you know what? You go in there. I want to see you do this. You know what I mean? But I was so honored to share the ring with Lita. And it was, when I think about that match, I hated my outfit because it kept on falling off. My elastic was not very tight and my butt kept on showing. And then you don't want to worry about your outfit when it's such a serious match.
Right.
And so it's very different. I don't watch a lot of my old stuff unless it's on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. I just watched something with Christy Hemme and I was like, wow, that was someone posted something and I was like, that was a really good match. Holy Toledo. I beat the hell out of her and she had a lot of fire in there, and some of with Barbie Kelly,
Uh-huh.
and then some of our matches where we would come back, we're like, oh, that was okay. When I watch it back, I'm like, actually, that wasn't really bad. We were so hard on ourselves. We're never super like, oh, that was awesome. We're still like, I could have done this better. Oh man, that thing, it didn't happen on this move. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I still watch it back and pretty proud of what I see. It's crazy to have all those crazy matches. Although
And historic matches. Yeah.
but I prefer having just an old-fashioned match of grappling and just doing our signature moves and stuff like that, and telling a story with psychology in it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fun, and you can kind of goof around a little bit, like, and have fun, not be so serious. And talking about that right now with you, Lo, like
Uh-huh.
all that, I can't believe
Nerves.
yeah, and I can't believe I did all that and in such a short amount of time. But then I was still in there a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But holy meat, I did a lot. I had a lot of epic matches.
You did.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's crazy to think that.
How do you feel about the women today, like Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair, making history in their own right? These two, they became the first woman to headline a WWE pay-per-view. They've been the first woman to compete in a Hell in a Cell match. You being the legend that you are, how do you feel seeing these women today making strides for the women's division?
I'm going to sound like I'm repeating myself because I've been asked this before, but I feel like a mom or a grandma, and these are your kids,
Mm-hmm.
because even though you're not still with that roster, you're still part of that group. You still
Uh-huh.
feel proud. You're so proud that the women are getting the recognition that they deserve, and it's just growing and growing and growing. And just to see Ric Flair get so emotional about Charlotte, that's just rewarding in itself, right? He's such a proud
Right.
guy. And Sasha Banks, I'm like, oh my God, I love that girl. I really love her. And then, like, her being Mandalorian, which I've mentioned before, I marked out.
Mm-hmm.
I went up to her. I was like, "Oh my God, Sasha!" I marked out when I saw you on Mandalorian. It's like, that's my show, and I was jealous because that should have been my part because I'm a Star Wars geek. And she's like, "I know, isn't it crazy?" And she's very humble about it. But these girls, the caliber, the bar they have set, it's more difficult to be in the big leagues now because the
Mm-hmm.
bar has set so freaking high. You have to have something unique about yourself. You have to have that it factor. You have to be a great athlete. You can't just be a great athlete. You have to have something that people can identify with.
Mm-hmm.
And you be able to reach their soul, reach their heart, and invest in you. You know what I mean? So the caliber today, I couldn't be more proud. And again, I'm so honored to be sharing that the Rumble, to share the ring with those girls where it's incredible, incredible.
I gotta ask you, there was a trending topic the other day, main event Banks versus Belair. Do you think that Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair should headline WrestleMania?
Heck yeah. Are you kidding me? Those girls are freaking awesome. Are you kidding me? And like whose side I would pick? I love them both. They're great athletes. I just like to see the championship last longer on a girl, not just dropped right away. I
Mm-hmm.
like the storyline to continue, and her being the first girl, that shouldn't be the focus. I'll be honest with you. She's an amazing athlete in itself, and she's an amazing woman. I want her still, I love Sasha. I love you, Sasha, but I still want Bianca to still carry it. She hasn't had it.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
it's incredible, like to think like how far this female division has come. The
Right.
women,
I think about when I first started watching, and
right? When
I
you were
mean, the women,
fighting pillow fights and like
yeah.
lingerie matches, and then where it's gotten to now, craziness, and just it's not crazy. It's deserved, but
Definitely
it's
deserved.
about time. But at least it's happening now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Especially with women empowerment now. You know what I mean? That
Mm-hmm.
we're all strong, independent women. We don't need a man
Preach.
to succeed, right? We are strong enough ourselves, and it's well deserved. Maybe Sasha might be dropping it. This is my side. Maybe might not be winning it because she's going to go back to filming for Mandalorian. Maybe, I don't know. You
Maybe.
know,
I think that, is there a new one coming out soon?
not soon, but there is going to be another Mandalorian,
Hmm.
right? There has to be.
I think there is, or maybe she's filming something else. I mean,
I
I
don't
would
know.
love to see Bianca hold the title.
Yeah, me too. Well, I think a lot of people are on the same page.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And if you would have seen, have you ever met Sasha Banks? Like
I haven't.
oh,
No.
she is freaking tiny. I forgot how tiny she is. Oh my God, she's like freaking 89 pounds. I'm exaggerating, maybe a buck 5, but oh my, these these girls are in such good shape. Like, and I do like how well the variety, you can still be
Hmm.
curvy and still have, a different shape, not just that stick figure model cover
Right.
chick walking the runway, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a unique look, and you don't have to be bone skinny to be sexy too, and be a strong individual woman.
Right.
Preach, girl, right? Yeah,
You're
yeah.
preaching.
Having a big ass. Now I'm embracing it. At the back in the day, I was like, I'm so big. These girls are so tiny. I feel so fat. Oh my God. Oh, I'm not on the cover. Maybe I'm not that sexy symbol. There's a lot of insecurities. Just
Mm-hmm.
make it, you're still insecure. I mean, like, I think people in general have a lot of insecurities, and I think we just need to embrace it.
Yeah.
We're not all perfect. Get over it, man. Jesus, just embrace yourself and just be happy and try to work on your mental status.
Mental. Mm-hmm.
It's more mental, right? But when you see what's promoted and all that stuff, it kind of makes you insecure. I fall into that too. I really do.
Let's talk about WrestleMania 20 hair versus hair match against Molly Holly. This match is so historic because you both went out there and you showed up and you showed out. You demonstrated that women can tell a captivating storyline and capture people's attention. How do you feel about this match? You look back, is it one of your favorite matches that you've had?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Also, the triple threat with Jazz, Trish,
Mm-hmm.
myself, Stevie Richards.
I watched
And
that one the other day.
Stevie Richards, like, he made me. I mean, he was so like encouraging, and he helped me come down in the background and the
Mm-hmm.
backstage. It didn't calm me down, but he tried. You got this. And we were very organic. We never planned anything. Whatever you do, we say sorry. I mean, what do psychotics do together? Do you just do what you feel in the moment?
Right.
Don't tell me what you're going to do. Just do it. I'm not going to go, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And like, to have it with, Molly Holly went to the office and she wanted to be the first girl to shave her head on WWE. And they asked her who she wants as her opponent. And Molly said, I want Victoria. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Oh my God. And I'm so proud of her going to the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
She's
Well deserved.
well deserved and should have been done a long time ago. But how many people can you induct? There's so many places, like spots, you know what I mean? And she is freaking, and I've said it again over and over, she's too nice for the business. She's very giving, very nurturing. Whatever you need help with, she gave me my finish. She saw Roderick.
I did read about that the other day.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. She saw Roderick Strong do it on an indie show. She said, I have a move for you. You're the strongest girl that can pick up everybody on the roster. And I'm sorry, on the female side. Maybe not everybody, but and she showed me how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my finisher. And it, I thank her for like me being where I exceeded in my wrestling. She's such a great grappler. She learned a lot from Dean Malenko. Our coaches, which like our producers, our agents and stuff like that, what they call, like Fit Finley, Ricky Steamboat, Arn Anderson, Bray Wyatt's dad.
Rotunda.
Yes. And just having these people that are so much better than we are, and to be them teaching us, it made us better athletes. And then to have those people that are legends believe in us that we can do that. It was,
Mm-hmm.
we were surrounded by really good people. Lance Storm always showed up early to work in the ring. Tommy Dreamer. Oh my gosh. There were so many people wanting to help us get better in the ring. There was a lot of people showing up, like just going, because all of us girls in my generation would show up 3 hours before we were supposed to be there.
Uh-huh.
Because we're like, I don't have enough moves in my repertoire. I need to learn something else. I can't keep on doing the same thing. What else can I do when I'm doing this? Or, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
agents would show up early. Oh, the girls will be there. And the agents would be like Arn Anderson, Ricky Steamboat, Fit Finley, William Regal, Dave Taylor, them having their wrestling boots, and they're not wrestling, and just to help us girls out. And it would encourage the guys to come in. Oh, the girls are there early. Just because you've been there for years,
Mm-hmm.
know it all. You're always open to learn more. You always need to work on your craft. There's not like, okay, I'm done. I made it. I'm done. I don't need to go wrestling school. You got to learn.
Yeah, you can always learn something new.
You'll be stagnant and you'll be boring. You're like, oh, she's doing the same thing. You kind of got to spice it up a little bit, right?
We talked a little bit earlier about this, but you were recognized at number 14 in the recently released WWE 50 Greatest Women list. They did a great job showcasing the moments in your career, and you've seen the video package, right? For you? Oh no, you need to watch it. It's so good.
Can I be completely honest? It's very difficult watching myself. I still haven't watched my Rumble. The only thing I have watched are the highlights and like maybe just the move or me just come walking down to the ring, which is a popular GIF, GIF, right? GIF, am I saying it right?
Mm-hmm.
You young kids say. But I did not watch it, and someone DM'd me that Victoria.
Oh yeah.
WWE, I watched a little bit. And I was like, oh, it's very difficult watching myself. I don't know why. I don't know why it is. Maybe I'm a perfectionist or like, oh, why did they show that? I don't know. I don't want to. Yeah, but I should watch it. You can send me the clipping.
Yeah, I'll send you the clip. It's very good.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, I'm always scared what they're going to show because I'm like, wait, I should watch more, but it's just really hard to watch myself. It's like listening to your voice. Like when I listen to podcasts, I'm like, oh my God, I sound like a dude. I really have a lot.
Oh my God, no.
You know what I mean? I have a lot of bass in my voice. Do you know what I mean? Like you listen to some like things you say, you're like, is that me? Oh, do I really sound like that? You know what I mean? Or like it's like old school, like it's also not old school. My old outfits, I'm like, oh my God, why did someone let me wear that? That was too sexy. That was like, why did I? Like, oh, that was not a good choice. Or you know what I mean? Oh, that wasn't flattering. Or like, why did I do that spot? I don't know. I'm so critical. I don't know. But send me the clip. And
yeah, I'll send it to you. I thought it was really good, and the end was very nice. They did a really good job.
Yay. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Ella is the one that told me that I made 14. And I'm like, I said, are you serious? Oh my God. She goes, well, I think you should be top 10, but she's being biased. Friends are always be on your side, right? And I'm like, I'm actually pretty 14. I go, I'm pretty proud. And I had to ask her, and I go, what number is this girl? What about this girl? She goes, oh, are you not following this? And I'm like, no. I go, there's too many girls, like top 50, like there's a lot of girls that deserve to be.
It's so interesting. A lot of women that were on the list, some of them have commented. Like I saw Trish Stratus made a comment about it. Melina did, but there's other people that haven't mentioned it. So I don't know if they haven't seen their videos yet or.
Okay, I didn't want to do a clip. Or an Instagram story about it, and I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. I didn't want to be pompous. I didn't want to go, I made 14. Okay, in your face, everybody else that didn't make the list. I didn't want it to come off like that and like boast about my placing. I didn't know how to do being humble and not to be. I wasn't going to do it conceited, but I was like, either way, it's going to sound like I'm number 14. I don't know. I was very honored to be on the list. I'm going to be completely honest. Of course, Trish well deserves to be number one. I mean, like she's had an awesome career. I had an amazing angle with her, and one of my most iconic angles. She deserves it. Oh my God! And she's still little as hell too. I don't know how people stay in shape. I don't know. Maybe having 2 kids and running around chasing them all over the place.
It's the yoga.
Yeah, it's stratosphere. You're right.
I read recently that you would love to be involved in AEW in a behind the scenes capacity. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I would be open to, WWE, AEW, I didn't say I want to do it, but I'd be open for the conversation. I would see what they would want to have me involved with or be a producer or an agent, meaning coaching or training. Yeah. I don't need the limelight. Like, I don't need my face on the camera. I would love to help the new talent. I'd be okay and happy and being a trainer and helping the new talent. I mean, like, as long as I can help out and, like in wrestling, you don't say retire and you're always going to be a part of it. If I can make the new generation just a little bit, like maybe 1% better, give my 2 cents, like I'd be honored to do that. Glad there's so many platforms, Ring of Honor, AEW, NWA, all these Chicago, all these independents and stuff like that. It's more room for people to succeed and showcase their talent. There's only so much room on a show. Right. Wrestlers. You can't showcase everybody. when they asked me if I would consider AEW, I said, yeah, absolutely. That's what was my answer. I would consider it.
You know, women like Jazz, I think, are interesting. And I think you could do the same thing. She's still active in wrestling. We know that she's an Impact, but she's also such a great mentor to these women that are coming up now. And I think you would be so great in something like that as well.
Like a fit Finley, you know, like such a strong wrestler and way more experienced than I am and taught me so much. And she's a good ringleader and a talent enhancement. Not meaning that she's stopping out. I'm not saying that, but goes in there. This is how it's done.
Right.
I mean, people learn from that. People learn from someone that's been more experienced, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going too fast. I need to slow it down. I got to tell a story. Let me let the audience digest what they've seen. I don't need to go to the next spot. You know what I mean? Even though I'm laying down, people need to digest what you're doing. Yeah, no, I agree. Jazz is freaking phenomenal. She has a school also in Texas. Yeah. So yeah, she's one of the best. Honestly, one of the best, dude. And she is the nicest person, even though she plays that freaking character. You're like scared of her. She's such a good heart, and she's a mom now.
I think you could definitely do something like that as well, though.
Yeah. Do I want to travel every single weekend and get in the ring? You know, I'm 50 years old. Our gyms are not completely open either.
Yeah.
I mean, they're some open, but you know, I have a recumbent bike. How much in shape I'm going to get in a recumbent bike? I know I can do in-home training. I have this trainer, Joey Thurman from Chicago. He goes, "Let me train you over on the camera."
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Like, I'm embarrassed. I'm out of shape. You know how you're just like still insecure about yourself.
Yeah.
Even when I'm trying to better myself, you know? And but my body, I'm just like, I don't want to risk injury. I don't want to.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't want to wrestling. How do I say it? I still would like to wrestle, but I got to choose my moments because being a family girl now, you know, I don't have kids, but I do like being a normal girl and, you know, going to my Dollar Tree store and then having time. I lost my mom, but I'm my dad. I still want time to go golfing. I want, not to say I'm vacationing all the time.
Right.
Family and having Lisa time is so important to me. Do you know what I mean? Especially this time. I just left a message too. I was like, I didn't realize what a loner I am. Everyone's like, you're a social butterfly. I go, yeah, at Comic Cons and all that stuff. And I go, but at home, I like to be alone with my dogs and go shopping by myself. And I'm such a freaking loner. It's crazy, you know. I keep on using the word crazy. Go figure, no pun intended. But it's just I enjoy like occasionally get in the ring and stuff like that. But
yeah.
You know, but you know, being a trainer, you know, I'll still get in the ring with them.
Right.
And, you know, help out and stuff like that, but it's not as injuring to your body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a bridge I have to cross. I have to be offered a good deal and like know exactly where verbatim what.
Well, you already have opponents lining up. Bailey mentioned on Renee Paquette's podcast, Oral Sessions, that she wants to have a match with you.
I told the story. She met me when she was 11 or 12 or 14.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Okay. Yeah, and she was in line getting her autograph. I'm gonna be a diva. I'm gonna be a wrestler, and you hear that so much. And now she is. I'm so proud of her. I mean, honestly, like she's such a good ringleader and so humble. I'd like to reiterate, like humble. Being humble in this sport, you know, you're only as good as your opponent. You don't have to beat the F out of somebody or be strong style to get over. You have to be pleasant to work with. And she's just a ray of sunshine, just like Ruby. Ruby's a ray of sunshine too, you know, and just, there's just so many, you know, that's why Natty has been, she's a great teacher too. She's such a great wrestler. She eats, breathes, and sleeps it, you know, family legacy and all this. You're surrounded by such great talent up there. Like you have to get better. When you get up there, you're going to get better regardless.
I want to see that match between you and her. I won't even lie.
I'll tell her to slow down. I'm like, hey, he's that little lady. You were in line getting my autograph back in the day. I'll be a Maya Moolah. I'll come back as a Maya Moolah because I remember wrestling Moolah. She, for her 80th birthday, Fabulous Moolah, she wanted to have a match. They come up, you have a match. I'm like, okay, all right, who am I wrestling? But it's normal, right? And she goes, oh, Fabulous Moolah. It's her 80th birthday. I was like, wait a minute. really? I'm like, oh my God, she's 80. I don't want
To hurt
not to
her,
say-
right?
exactly. It's something, why I don't want something to go wrong on this match. And, but evidently she's a little snug style. She's a little strong style herself, but it was an honor to do that. But I wouldn't mind coming back as the old timer and putting all the girls. I don't need to win a match. Whenever I go to indie shows, I'm like, I don't want to win, but I don't have anything to prove. Let them beat me, like they're still in the organization. Let them keep on continuing to be on top. That's the difference too. I think a lot of people are not like that. I'm shocked that when I hear from some people like, oh, they can't lose a match. I'm like,
Wow. You mentioned earlier being humble, and there's so many opportunities now for individuals who want to get in the wrestling world, whether as a wrestler, a valet, or a manager. Along with being humble, what advice would you give to someone who's thinking of taking that next step and becoming a wrestler or a valet?
the first rule that we're taught is mouth shut, ears open, which is very important. You cannot talk back to somebody. You're going, you should have done this. I think maybe you should have done that. Well, no, because I did it because of this. You're like, you just open your ears, take it in, and you just say, on my day, thank you for watching my match. And you pick and choose what you're going to do, but of course you're going to take what the big leagues know about the industry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, okay, well, I didn't think about it like that. But can I explain why I thought I should have done that? I go, I'm not saying I did it right, but I thought because she did this, maybe that kind of, they're like, well, no. And they'll go through the psychology. You can ask questions, let them give your feedback first. And I get a lot of people asking me, how do I become a commentator? I don't know. I don't know the first thing about commentating. That's a question for Jonathan Coach. The guy, I did an interview on UCLA radio. He wants to be commentator. And I go, I'm not one to ask. You should interview John Coach. And so he did. I can't believe he reached out, and took my advice.
Follow through.
Like to go to say like, hey, I just want to be a valet or manager. You still need to go to wrestling school. I don't know what to tell you. There is not just like a manager school. There's not just a referee school. It's just like you still have to do the bumps and kinks and all that stuff, just like everybody else. I don't know how to give advice to someone that just wants to be a manager or valet or a commentator. In wrestling, what I advise is to go freaking to the best schools. In my day, you're broke. You freaking pack your car. You can't afford a flight, pack the car. We packed our U-Haul, drove from California all the way to Memphis, looking for the cheapest apartment. We didn't care what neighborhood we're living in and stuff like that.
You just have to make sacrifices. Yeah.
That's the number one word is sacrifice. You want to wrestle, you got to learn from people that are the best. Even in Florida, Devon has a school too, Devon Dudley, and there's just so many schools now everywhere, and I come across, like when I do Comic-Cons a lot, that's my weakness, right? Comic-Cons, I'm a nerd. And the people are asking, what school is here in Philadelphia? Or what school is here in Baltimore? I don't know. If you can tell me who the teacher is, or you got to learn, like if someone says, I want to be in WWE, you need to go to a school that's ran by somebody that's been there. They know how they've been through it. They've been through the grind. I want to do a shout out to Tommy Dreamer too. He helped me a lot in my career. He always calls me crazy, but he has House of Hardcore. Like there's just a lot of platforms and just a lot of schools. You just have to research it, and there's someone you could ask where I should attend. I don't know it all. I'm a little out of the loop, to be honest with you.
Let's talk about GawCast. So Gaw is you, Mickey James, and SoCal Val. You host this podcast called Gaw, which stands for Grown Ass Women. How was this concept created?
This was by Mickey James. She was talking to Alicia Fox driving the car and talking about grown ass women things, and wanted to do this for a long time. And I don't know what happened with Alicia. I think she wanted to do her own business at home. And she started talking to SoCal Val about doing the show. My name came up. I got the call, hey, we want you to be a part of the show. And I'm like, okay, I'm in. What is it? What are we doing? It's just like shooting the at home, drinking wine, and just, making it a little different. It's not just about wrestling. It's just talking about normal crap. We say grown-ass women talking nonsense. The chemistry with all of us girls, we're very tight. and very blunt and open. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we curse a lot and we're trying to cut back on that. But when you get so passionate and just talking with your feelings, there's no filter. But it's a feel good show. The bad thing about COVID is COVID, but the good thing about COVID, TV was created, because
Mm-hmm.
we didn't do it was a relief, like when people can watch it and just escape their normal world or
Right.
relate what we're going through too. They're
Mm-hmm.
not alone.
You
Yeah,
can definitely feel your guys' connection when you watch the podcast or you listen to it.
totally.
You guys do have your first ever Dresselmania auction coming up.
Yes.
It's to benefit the girlup.org charity. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes. Oh my gosh. WrestleMania came up. SoCal Val and SoCal Val's husband, Alan, they came up with the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Is Val and Alan? Well, Alan claims it, but SoCal Val about donating a dress and giving it to charity. It happened really fast, honestly. A couple of weeks ago. WrestleMania is coming up. We need to do this now. We have big names coming out still to come out, and we're like, oh my God, who will we announce today? But our deadline's the 7th. The auction ends on the 7th, because we don't want to interfere with WrestleMania. I'm at WrestleCon on that weekend, so I'm not going to be really on my phone. And so all the proceeds go to Girl Up, which is empowering women and girls, trying to get the women in sports entertainment, or not, I'm sorry, in sports, different pay scale. It's about girl power, basically, helping teenagers out and, youth what to expect in the future and stuff like that. It's a positive charity. And WWE is very supportive about that. Nikki James talked to Stephanie McMahon and very supportive. So we got some current roster people donating.
Good.
Isn't this exciting?
It is really exciting. I've never heard of anything like this, and I think it's great that you guys are giving back to the charity that is all about girl power. So I'm really looking forward to seeing who else is going to be involved in this.
Oh, it's exciting. Wait for it. Wait for it. We're excited.
Thank you, Lisa, for joining me today on Wrestling Winedown. Where can the people follow you?
You can follow me on social media like Twitter, Instagram is Real Lisa Marie. On my Facebook, my fan page is Lisa Marie Varon. Gal TV is at Gaw TV on Twitter. Oh, the Gaw TV on Twitter. If you just put
Your Big Cartel store.
My Big Cartel, Lisa Marie Varon .bigcartel.com is my store where you can find my ring gear, autographs, and stuff like that. But mostly, we want you to follow and subscribe to our Gaw TV show on YouTube. Exciting things to come, girl. But cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
To Wrestling Winedown.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Wrestling Winedown. You can find all of our other episodes available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and wherever else you listen to your podcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at WWDCAST. Our new website is also coming soon. Let us know what you thought about the episode. What was your favorite part? We upload episodes with brand new co-hosts every week. Until next time, enjoy your wine and, of course, enjoy your wrestling. Cheers!